book besties, welcome back to the channel. My name is Cayenne and this is Cayenne is Booked, and today we're going to be talking about all the books I hope to read in February of this year. If this is your first video on my channel, hi, yes, hello, welcome to the channel. I am a massive mood reader and I've always struggled with making TBR lists because I could really just never stick to them. So I call this my hopefuls list because I'm really hopeful I'm going to read all these books, but we really won't know until we hit the end of the month if I am able to do that. But these are books that are going to be either on like my book club for The Good, the Bad, the Smutty with my friend Jess, or books that I have kind of like coming up maybe in some like reading vlogs that I'm doing that I have or haven't announced, or, you know, just random books. February is kind of a shorter month, so I didn't put as many as I normally would, but also too, like, my list is always under 10 books. So also, if you hear some clicking in the background, it has been raining today, so my pup is a little like anxious, so she's been kind of walking around the house. But if it gets too bad, like, I'll just stop and then start it back again. So first up, I actually just grabbed this as I was making my stack. It really wasn't on, but this one is Pretty Little Savage by Lucy Smoke. It's the Sick Boys book 1. I don't know how many books there are. I want to say there's 6, but I could totally be wrong. This is, oh, it doesn't even tell me who it follows. Oh, Avalon, and I don't know who else. I do know it's a dark romance. Lucy Smoke's one of my favorite authors. I met her multiple times. I've read tons of her backlist, and I've been meaning to get to the series. So I'm thinking maybe if I talk about it in front of you guys, I will actually read it. So this is me, the first one I hope to get to. Next up is going to be Her Rogue Alpha. So this is book 5 in the X-Op series by Paige Schuyler, 5. And this follows Layla and Jason. And Jason is an injured war hero, and Layla is a cat shifter. She is Ivy, who's our heroine from book 1's sister. And they're really struggling. Mostly Jason's really struggling a lot because he is what they would deemed as an injured vet now, and he's not able to go back into special forces. But he's not doing very well sitting on the sidelines and watching everybody else being able to serve. And he's really starting to struggle, like, mentally. And so this is a kind of a situation where Jason gets a job at the DOC, can't remember the acronym right now. And they may or may not be partnered up later on. So really excited to continue this one. Really kind of enjoying my adventure into her backlist, especially when it comes to like romantic suspense and the paranormal romances. Having a lot of fun. The next one I'm going to read is Empire of Desire by Rena Kent. I did have this one on January's. I just got really hopeful in January. Super hopeful because my sister got married and we had bachelorette weekend and the wedding. I don't know why I thought I could read all those books. Anyways, Empire of Desire by Rena Kent is the next book on my adventure to read her entire backlist. This follows Nathaniel, who is one of the uncles from a previous main character, main hero, and his love story to his best friend's daughter. So very excited about that one. The next one I want to read is Her Jasad Air by Sarah Hassim. And as you can tell, I started this. I'm 17 pages in. But I don't remember any of it because I started this and then immediately started Powerless because I borrowed it from the library and there's a ton of people in line behind me for holds and I wanted to finish it. So I'm gonna have to go back and basically restart this again. But essentially, the Arab Jasad escapes a massacre when Jasad is burned down and people don't know that she's alive. And this prince comes to the village that she's hiding out in and he is her enemy. And it's their story of how they have to work together, but she has to keep her identity a secret. So sounds right up my alley. Next up is going to be Wanting Mr. Kane by Shonora Williams. I read 2 Shonora Williams in January, and I've read one of her books previously, and I've made like I don't know if it's a conscious or unconscious decision. Like I made the joke to my friend Jess about reading her entire backlist, but I'm serious. So this is going to be the one I'm going to pick up. I know this is an age gap, best friend's daughter romance. A lot of people talk about it on BookTube and Book Talk. It is one of Jess's favorites from her. So I'm really excited. I think it's a 4-book series, maybe 5 books if there's a novella, but this is gonna be the next one in Shonora Williams' backlist that I'm gonna pick up. After that, I'm gonna read Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. This is also for one of my reading vlogs that I don't think I've announced yet. So basically it was a story about a young girl whose best friend was murdered, and then the love of her life was accused of murdering her best friend. And that's pretty much all I know about it. I'm pretty excited about it. It's my library copy, which is why it's so shiny, because it has the little thing over it. But past that, I don't really know too much, so I'm excited to dive in. And I don't know, it seems not too hyped, but it seems like a lot of people have really enjoyed it. So I'm hoping that I'm one of the people that also enjoys it. After that, I would like to read Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco. I had this on January's list as well, but look how chunky it is. I had so many books that were just, I don't know, 500 pages or more, and I had a lot of faith in myself, but I had so many maid of honor duties, and whatever. So anyway, Throne of the Fallen, I think I talked about it, but I'll say it again. Sinner, villain, wicked. I'm pretty sure this is about, together Envy and Camilla must embark on a perilous journey through the underworld, from glittering demon courts to the sultry vampire realm and beyond, while trying to avoid the most dangerous trap of all, falling in love. That's really all I need to know, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, I am trash if I know that they're enemies and they're sworn enemies because of their kingdoms, but they fall in love anyways, and they have to find a way around it. That's the recipe for me to pick your book up. So those are just the ones that I'm either reading for reading vlogs, or I wanted to add to my list, or et cetera, for whatever reason. These next two I'm going to talk about are going to be the Good, the Bad, the Smunnies book club picks. So that's the one that I do with my friend Jess. We read book 1 in the series, Haven, I want to say a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago now. But this one is book 2, and this is Sanctuary by Rebecca Witherspoon. And she needs a sanctuary because she's in a bad place, and then she invades his. And this is from Rebecca Witherspoon's Beards and Bondage series. So the first one we read was steamy, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm kind of hoping this is the same. But really excited to dive into this one. And then the final one we're reading too, because they're really short. But we're going to read book 3, which is Harbor. And that is also by Rebecca Witherspoon. I don't know too much about that one either. But like I said, the first one was so good and so steamy, and the story was just so well aligned. And I love, we just enjoyed it so much that when we were talking about book club picks, we were like, we should just finish the series out because we had such a good time for the first one. So that was really short, sweet, and to the point, but those are the books that I'm hopeful that I can get to in February of this year. Do we have any, or am I reading one that you've already read and you loved and you want to tell me about it? Drop it in the comments below. As always, I hope you're having a wonderful day no matter where you are in the world. And if you could like, comment, and subscribe, I would totally appreciate that. And I will catch you in the next video. Bye.